will make a presentation.
This application is for a change of use from a newsagent to a food and drink establishment at 42 High Street. The property is located within a parade of shops within the Old Harlow neighbourhood centre in the conservation area. The site's edged in red there, to the southern side of the High Street. It's marked by a star there. You can see that there's a car park to the south of the site. The application is for change of use only, and as such there are no proposals to alter the appearance of the building, and the unit here is shown on the left where the newsagent is. And the unit is also on the left on this plan. The one they want to change the use of is this here. It's a photograph of the unit from the rear and from the front. The unit is currently vacant, and the applicant has stated that it's been marketed since March 2017. Although an application for a beauty salon has been submitted and is currently pending, the applications must be considered independently and on their own merits. It is considered that the food and drink use would be preferable to the unit remaining unoccupied. Furthermore, if the change of use were to go ahead, nearly half of the frontage on the southern side of High Street would still remain in retail use. There are flats above the unit, however, as there are restaurants and a pub nearby, it would be unreasonable to refuse permission on community grounds. Conditions will prevent music being audible outside the premises or in the above flat, and to restrict the closing hours to the same as those at the restaurant at number 38. However, the opening hours condition as proposed needs to be amended to include restrictions on Saturdays, and I'll propose new wording at the end of this presentation. As a result of the car park to the south and the restaurant most likely being mainly in use in the evenings when the retail units are likely to be closed, the parking arrangements considered to be acceptable. The objections received comment on the number of restaurants in the area and raise concerns regarding potential issues with drunkenness. Competition is not normally something that can be taken into account, and as the proposal is not a public house or a wine bar or something like that, it is not that the problems that can be associated with those uses are likely. The officer's recommendation is therefore one of approval, subject to the conditions set out at page 33 and 34 of the agenda, with an amendment to condition 4 to state that the proposed restaurant shall only be open to the public between the hours of 8 a.m. and 11 p.m. on weekdays and Saturdays, and 10 a.m. and 10:30 p.m. on Sundays and public holidays. Thank you.
There are no speakers, so questions?
Do we know what type of restaurant it will be?
It's speculative.
Councillor Hall.
Yeah, thank you. One of the issues for the existing uses of the shops down there is the use of the rear of the premises to serve food to people who are coming into the car park to collect their food and go home or eat it out elsewhere. Has it been considered what the additional effect of another food outlet like this would be in respect of the use that I've just described?
So is that like the catering units, like the mobile ones?
No, they use the rear of the premises to serve people who come to the premises to purchase food or pre-ordered food, and that's served from the rear of the premises in a couple of cases there, and traffic in and out gets quite risky with people who sort of drop their car and rush in to get their food and then drive away again.
It's not being considered, it's not being raised by anyone. It's slightly unusual. I don't think, well, my gut instinct is I don't think that you could necessarily control that, so it'd be very difficult to enforce against it. If you were to put on a condition to say there shall be no sale of food outside, then presumably they could run inside. So I doubt that we could put on a condition. So no, if you were minded to, you could always put one on. I would recommend the condition, but my instinct is that it's not really enforceable.
Yeah, thanks for that. I think it's probably at a late stage now that if you were to apply that to this premises, you'd be discriminating against them when 2 or 3 other premises are already doing that. But it's just an issue, I think, to be borne in mind.
More questions? Members? No? Debate? Councillor Carter?
Thank you, Chair. That particular unit has been through a number of changes over the years. Some of us may even remember when it was Bookstack run by Mr. Plateau. One of the few remaining bookshops which has had declined. But yeah, I think the important thing is to ensure there is still activity on the high street. Yes, it's going to be another restaurant, and so it will help to sort of generate some traffic of people around in the evenings, and also bring some life to the area. So yeah, let's do it.
Thank you. Any more debate? In that case, if we could move to a vote, first of all to accept the officer's amendment. All those in favour?
Approved.
And then the amended recommendations which appear on pages 33 and 34 of your agenda. And that's unanimously carried. Thank you very much.